Part-7, Federal Executive. 74. Form of Governance. The form of governance of Nepal shall be multi-party, competitive, federal, democratic, republican, parliamentary form of governance based on pluralism. 75. Executive Power. 1. The executive power of Nepal shall, in accordance with this constitution and law, be vested in the Council of Ministers. 2. The responsibility for issuing general directives, controlling and regulating the governance of Nepal shall, subject to this constitution and law, lie in the Council of Ministers. 3. All federal executive functions of Nepal shall be performed in the name of the government of Nepal. 4. Any decision or order to be issued in the name of the government of Nepal pursuant to clause 3 and other instruments of authorization pertaining thereto shall be authenticated as provided for in the federal law. 76. Constitution of Council of Ministers. 1. The President shall appoint leader of the parliamentary party that commands a majority in the House of Representatives as the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers shall be constituted under his or her chairpersonship. 2. In cases where no party has a clear majority in the House of Representatives pursuant to clause 1, the President shall appoint as the Prime Minister a member of the House of Representatives who is able to command a majority with the support of 2 or more parties representing to the House of Representatives. 3. In cases where the Prime Minister cannot be appointed pursuant to clause 2 within 30 days after the date of declaration of the final results of election to the House of Representatives, or where the Prime Minister so appointed fails to secure a vote of confidence pursuant to clause 4, the President shall appoint as the Prime Minister the leader of the parliamentary party which has the highest number of members in the House of Representatives. 4. The Prime Minister appointed pursuant to clause 2 or 3 shall be required to secure the vote of confidence from the House of Representatives within 30 days after the date of such appointment. 5. In case where the Prime Minister appointed pursuant to clause 3 fails to secure the vote of confidence pursuant to clause 4, and any member referred to in clause 2 presents a ground on which he or she is able to secure the vote of confidence in the House of Representatives, the President shall appoint such member as the Prime Minister. 6. The Prime Minister appointed pursuant to clause 5 shall be required to secure the vote of confidence pursuant to clause 4. 7. In cases where the Prime Minister appointed pursuant to clause 5 fails to secure a vote of confidence or the Prime Minister cannot be appointed, the President shall, on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, dissolve the House of Representatives and appoint a date of election so that the election to another House of Representatives is completed within 6 months. 8. Procedures as the appointment of the Prime Minister under this article shall be required to be completed within 35 days after the date of the declaration of the final results of election to the House of Representatives held under this Constitution or the date on which the office of the Prime Minister has fallen vacant. The President shall, on recommendation 9, the President shall, on recommendation of the Prime Minister, constitute the Council of Ministers comprising a maximum of 25 ministers, including the Prime Minister, in accordance with the inclusive principle from amongst the members of the Federal Parliament. Explanation. For the purpose of this article, Minister means a Deputy Prime Minister, Minister, Minister of State, and Assistant Minister. 10. The Prime Minister and ministries shall be collectively responsible to the Federal Parliament, and the ministers shall be individually responsible for the business of the respective ministries to the Prime Minister and the Federal Parliament. 77. Vacation of office of Prime Minister and Minister. The office of the Prime Minister shall fall vacant in any of the following circumstances. A. In case he or she tenders resignation in writing to the President. B. In case a resolution of confidence is not adopted or a resolution of no confidence is adopted against him or her pursuant to Article 100. C. In case he or she ceases to be a member of the House of Representatives. D. In case he or she dies. 2. The office of Minister shall fall vacant in any of the following circumstances. In case he or she tenders resignation in writing to the Prime Minister. B. In case the Prime Minister removes him or her from the office. C. In case the office of Prime Minister falls vacant pursuant to subclause A, B, or C of clause 1. D. In case he or she dies. 3. In case the office of Prime Minister falls vacant pursuant to clause 1, the same Council of Ministers shall continue to act until another Council of Ministers is constituted. Provided that in the case the Prime Minister dies, the senior-most minister shall act as the Prime Minister until a new Prime Minister is appointed. 78. Non-member of Federal Parliament to become Minister. 1. Notwithstanding anything contained in clause 9 of Article 76, the President may, on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, appoint a person who is not a member of the Federal Parliament as a minister. 2. A minister appointed pursuant to clause 1 shall be required to become a member of the Federal Parliament within 6 months from the date of taking oath by him or her. 3. In the event of failure to obtain membership of the federal parliament within the period referred to in clause 2, he or she shall not be qualified to be reappointed to the office of minister during the term of the then House of Representatives. 4. Notwithstanding anything contained in the clause 1, a person who has lost the election of the then House of Representatives shall not be eligible to be appointed to the office of minister as referred to in clause 1 during the term of such House of Representatives. 17. Remuneration and other facilities of Prime Minister and Ministers. The remuneration and other facilities of the Prime Minister and Minister shall be as provided for in a federal act. It shall be as specified by the Government of Nepal until such act is made. 80. Oath. The Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and ministers shall, prior to assuming their respective offices, take an oath of office and secrecy before the President and Ministries of State and Assistant Ministers before the Prime Minister, as provided for in the federal law. 81. To inform President. The Prime Minister shall inform the President on the following matters: A. Resolutions of the Council of Ministers. B. Bills to be introduced in the federal parliament. C. Such other necessary information as commanded by the President on matters set forth in clause A and B, and the current general state of affairs of Nepal and matters concerning foreign relations. 82. Transaction of business of Government of Nepal. The business of the government. 1. The business of the Government of Nepal shall be allocated and transacted in accordance with the rules approved by the Government of Nepal. 2. No question may be raised in any court as to whether or not the rules referred to in clause 1 have been observed.